We aim to gain an insight into the new ways in which artists are beginning to exhibit their work in order to become recognised within society. Today we will be talking to Ellie Billany, a Hull School of Art and Design student, about her work, and we will be finding out more about her plans for her project, The Art of the Poor.
Well, I started off doing foundation in photography at Hull College a fair few years ago now, and then I moved on to do contemporary fine art practice here because I wanted to expand on photography mainly. So I started off in the first year doing mainly things about death. Sounds quite depressing, but looking at the romance that surrounds it and different cultures and how they portray death and that sort of thing. So I did that in the first year, and then it got to the second year, and I hit a bit of a wall really, and didn't really know where to go. So I spent the first semester not doing very much really. It was all very, like, I was trying to search for a meaning, and behind my work I couldn't really find anything. So the second semester came, and then my tutor decided that, you know, enough was enough. I needed to stop sitting around doing nothing, and I got fascinated with smokers. He just told me to find something and fascinate yourself with it. So I started looking at people smoking and the act of smoking and the irreverence that surrounds it really, and the thoughts that people have while they're doing it. And then that sort of spanned from there, and I looked at mouths. It's all very sexually suggestive, and it's got like undertones of sexuality in it. I think all my work pretty much has, to be fair. My project, The Art of the Poor. Well, yet again, it spans from an art movement called Arte Povera, which is essentially art for the poor. And I sort of looked at that, and I've looked at how again irreverent it all is, and how that sort of affected my work. And I sort of did a bit of a play on words with the title of it. But it's essentially, what I'm going to do is pour liquid latex down some steps at Queen Victoria Square, and hopefully film and photograph people's sort of their views and opinions on it really. That's more the piece than essentially the pour itself. So, and I think that doing it, it's sort of, I wanted to give something. It sounds cheesy, but I wanted to do something in the public realm, something that's going to be. First of all, I wanted to do something that's going to stand and withstand like the weather and stay forever. But then the more I thought about it, I thought my work's not really like that. It's more like throwaway. Not the meaning behind it necessarily, but definitely like these pieces don't look like, you know, they'll last forever. You know, they're going to rot away eventually. So I thought if I do this and then peel it off, it's going to leave a slight mark on the steps, but it won't last very long until the rain comes. And I think that in itself is kind of what my work's about, and more like definitely about just the throwaway things really, which is quite exciting. I'm hoping also to bring the impression of the steps within the liquid latex when it's dry back to the studio and hang it in some sort of way, maybe in the way that I've done these pieces. I'm not entirely sure yet. But yeah, it's definitely more about like people, what the people say about me doing it rather than me actually doing it.
And how are you feeling today? Because you did actually originally plan to do this piece today, but obviously you had to stop because of the rain.
Yeah.
So what's what's the plan to go ahead with the project? Are you arranging it for another day or?
Yeah, I definitely am. I feel a bit deflated, a little bit apprehensive about, because I've drummed up so much publicity behind it, and I got the press involved and invited tons of people to come, and I just feel a bit like, you know, it's been cancelled. But I'm definitely going to rearrange it maybe in a week's time, try and get the publicity back up and running for it, try and get Hull Daily Mail back involved with it. Yeah, definitely I do feel a little bit depressed. You'd probably have a much happier me if we'd have actually done it today, but yeah.
Swanland. I was going to say Swansea.
expecting police to turn up, are you? Or?
Probably. Yeah. Quite apprehensive about that, but.
Are you quite excited about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous, but excited. Yeah. That it's finally going to happen. Yeah. But it should be good. We shall see. We shall see. Stop. Just stop now.
Ladies and gentlespoons, allow me to introduce you to the artist this afternoon. We have Ellie Billany. I'm here to speak on her behalf this afternoon on this beautiful day. On this beautiful day where you are about to experience something I can assure you you have never experienced before. We're just on a patient waiting moment for the umbrella. So if we could just keep your focus and your attention.
I'm not scared of getting in trouble.
So Ellie, how are you feeling now?
Relieved. Happy that it actually looks like good. Quite secretly quite pleased. Invigorated, but a little bit disappointed it's not going to set.
Yeah.
And it hasn't covered as much as I thought it would. But other than that.
Is it creating as much attention as it might?
Probably not. But what did I expect on a day like this, really?
All in the name of art.
What is so opposite from it? That's why I'm trying not to let people do it. I didn't really think it was going on. I want to be sitting up here like a calendar, so. That's why you don't do steps.
So what do you think to all of this? What's your thoughts at the moment as to what's going on?
No, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not sure if the process relied on it being dry or not. I'm quite concerned it might not come off. I guess I need to ask the artist whether it is about the process or about the final outcome, the actual peeling off of the cast. Yeah.
I thought it was quite interesting, really. I've got quite a lot of it's vandalism, which, to be fair, it is. Yeah, I'll give him that. But then when they asked more questions about it and the concept and why I'd done it, I think they were quite intrigued, and because we don't have much art in Hull, and I think they were more interested in the fact that it was opposite the Ferrens and the disgust that the Ferrens had for it, which was pretty much, oh, quick, let's get it off, you know. We can't really have that there. It's not ordered, it's not on white walls, you know, which was a bit off-putting, really, considering it's an art gallery. I thought they'd be more supportive.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, the people's reactions were interesting, to say the least, yeah. Got quite a lot of remarks from passers-by, which is quite interesting, but yeah, all be documented. It went really well, yeah. I think it did. It went better than I thought it would. A little bit gutted that the latex didn't set, so that I could peel it off and bring it back, which was what the original intention was. And even more gutted that I'm actually exhausted from like scrubbing the steps to get the latex off. So, but it seemed to be okay. Like, we had lots of helpers and council workers that came to help clean it off, and that were really nice, and I just was like overcome by human kindness, I think, today, really, which is a little bit unusual. I think like everyone was overly nice, and people I didn't expect to come came, and all that sort of thing. Like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it went really well.
Would it have gone better if it hadn't have been raining for you and your work?
Absolutely, yeah. It would have been more successful. I would have had a piece at the end of it that I could have brought back, and but I suppose you can't always have it your own way, can you? And I quite enjoyed the not knowing, really, which was quite interesting. The running for umbrellas from the shops, the buying more sponges, the scrubbing of it was a bit different, really. I think if it had all gone to plan, it would have been a bit boring, a little bit blasé. I think that I've got a lot of respect for people that can sit in front of a landscape and paint for hours on end and be, what's the word? And be that, I consider it boring, I suppose, but like, each to their own. I've got a lot of respect for people that can do that and that can have the patience for it. But myself, I think that it's important to shock. I think looking back and at the beginning of my work, I got a lot of inspiration from young British artists in the early until late 80s, like Tracy Emin, Damien Hirst, all that sort of thing. And like, yeah, very mainstream, and you know, everyone likes Tracy Emin, Damien Hirst, all that sort of thing. But then you look back at what they did and how they changed art, and I think that that's really important. And I think that it needs to be shown in Hull. I think there's a lot of people that don't see it as art. Yeah, it's vandalism. It's vandalism. You know, it wasn't vandalism. It was an act of art. I cleaned it up. There's none left. You know, and I think that it's really important for people to understand it, and for it to be pushed in their faces, because people aren't gonna. Yeah, you can walk around the Ferrens till the cows come home, but it's not gonna make any difference to you, is it? It's not gonna shock you. It's not gonna make you think. It's just. I don't even know how to word it. I think that guerrilla art is definitely taking off pretty much everywhere. Banksy, Shepherd Fairy, all those sort of things. Like, I think that a lot of people take these things for granted and see it just as graffiti or vandalism, and I don't think it is. I think it should be embraced, for sure.